I think it's very, very important for us to first understand what is sustainability. Of course, there are many definitions of sustainability. Or of course, you go online and you'll see many, many theoretical explanations of what sustainability actually means. But in clear, simpler terms, sustainability is about creating an ecological balance. Basically, it means using only that much natural resource in our lifetime or in our daily use so that it doesn't create any kind of an ecological imbalance. And the reason why we need to do it, because we live on a planet that has finite resources and we cannot have infinite needs, or we cannot have infinite exploration. So sustainability primarily is about caring for the planet and being wise about natural resources, and natural resources that are extremely, extremely critical for all of us. And the reason why we need to talk about it is also because there is a crisis of natural resources all around the world. And second, when there is a crisis, it's the poorest of the poor that get affected the most. So, when you run out of water in a city, you and I can perhaps go and buy some water from a supermarket. But the poorest of the poor will actually go thirsty, perhaps will migrate to another place, or will end up drinking dirty water. So sustainability is not just about this romantic idea of saving the planet, but it is also about really thinking about poorest of the poor and equitable understanding and equitable use of natural resources. Now, the question is that why do we need to talk about sustainability? Sustainability needs to be a part of the conversation because we are living in a global warming era, or we are living in a climate change era. Next month, we'll actually have world leaders discussing climate change. There's many topics that will be discussed in Glasgow, including net zero, including just transitions. In many ways, there'll be a lot of blame game happening in terms of developed countries blaming the developing countries for burning coal and using fossil fuel and population. Many of those reasons that will be actually given or presented at that World Forum by the developed country. And similarly, the developing countries will actually present a counter argument that talks about right to grow, that they have a right to grow as well, and also put forth that per capita carbon consumption of an average American or an average European is way, way, way more than what a per capita carbon consumption of an average Indian is. So there will be a lot of heated conversation next month, and there's already a lot of conversation when it comes to sustainability and climate change. But today's conversation is about how do we actually make our lives sustainable. And now, when we talk about sustainability, and then when we talk about sustainable lifestyles, the point that we're talking about is that we need to keep resources for everybody and forever. So it's not just about saving some water today, but saving water enough today so that there's enough water left for everyone, not for some people, but for everyone forever. And that is what, in broad terms, is sustainability or sustainable development. Now, sustainability between homes or between walls, when we say, is about things that you do when nobody is watching you. When you take a shower, whether you take a 2-minute shower or a 5-minute shower or a 30-minute shower, it all is your private affair. Now, sustainability is not what you do in public. It's also a lot what you do in private. The amount of water that we use, the waste that we generate, and the way we actually recycle our waste or do not recycle our waste or do not segregate our waste. A lot of this is what is about sustainability. So not when somebody is watching you, but when nobody is watching you, your behavior at that time is what is extremely, extremely critical. We all like fancy lights in our homes. We all want well-lit homes. But the impact that a lot of electricity consumption has on overall health of our planet or health of a city is extremely important. So conservation of electricity in our homes is extremely critical. We are living in an energy-driven world. Energy is very critical for development, but some people use way beyond what average Indian would be using. So for us, energy consumption and really conserving it is extremely important. These are some of the measures with respect to water, with respect to waste, with respect to energy that we need to do in our own homes, that is between walls, as I've said. And there is a lot that we also need to do outside the walls or outside our homes. And that is what is also called or qualifies as sustainable lifestyle. The way we move from point A to point B. Right now Delhi is reeling under air pollution. Air quality index this morning in several parts of Delhi was actually beyond 300, which basically means that if it was any other city in the world, that city would be shut down. Unfortunately, we are in India where it's normal to live in a bad air day. You will not be surprised if the air quality index of Delhi would reach 999 and still the business would be as usual. Now, when we talk about air pollution, this is just an example. Why is our air so polluted? It is polluted because we all like our fancy cars. And almost 30% of air pollution in our city, or at least in Delhi's case, is because of vehicular pollution. So use of public transport is something which is extremely critical to build a sustainable city, a sustainable lifestyle. Similarly, we are actually talking about, when we talk about sustainable cities, the way we construct, how much do we construct, and at what cost do we construct is extremely important. We sometimes don't realize the value of a tree. There are several Supreme Court judgments in which they're actually valuing trees and saying we should not be cutting trees. And we don't understand that when each time you cut a tree, you don't get an asthma attack next hour. But trees are extremely critical, and sustainable lifestyle or sustainable city design primarily means building around a tree rather than building over a tree. Similarly, waste generation and waste disposal. We've seen landfills all around our metros, and in India, we don't have landfills. We actually have land hills, and which are these mountains of garbage all around our cities. And burning of that garbage, naturally or through man-made intervention, is again very big cause of unsustainable city or a polluted city that we're talking about. Yamuna, one of the most polluted rivers of our country or of our world, is completely black. As per Central Pollution Control Board, the water quality of Yamuna is E class, which means it's not even fit for animal bathing, it's only fit for industrial cooling. And that is unsustainable because almost 70% of Delhi's drinking water actually comes from this river Yamuna, and that needs to be conserved. So conservation or asking or creating a sustainable city or a sustainable future is at two levels. One is you change your lifestyle, you change your attitude, and you change your behavior around natural resources in your own personal life. That's point number one. And second is demand, ask, advocate for a more sustainable policy, a more sustainable city, a more sustainable public transport, a more sustainable energy regime, a more sustainable construction and demolition regime. We don't need yet another mall in our city. Perhaps we need many more forests if we want to live longer. In the context of COVID, I think it's extremely important that sustainable lifestyle doesn't remain just a fad, but becomes a necessity, becomes a truth. Because we've seen that COVID affects our body, COVID affects our health, COVID affects our immunity, and that's exactly what natural resources builds. So if we want a better lung so as to fight COVID, we will have to really conserve our forest, we'll have to really stop coal thermal power plants, we will have to really look at using public transport, we will have to really look at how much do we consume, how big is our dustbin, and how do we make a future that is green, that is beautiful, and that is sustainable. As Gandhiji said, we need to think of the poorest of the poor person every time we consume something or every time we want to really think of possessing something. All our actions should be governed by how does it actually affect the poorest of the poor, the last person in that line. And that is what sustainability or sustainable living also tries to achieve. Sustainable living should be a norm because and so as that every poor person on this planet has a right to safe water, safe air, safe habitat, and safe future in many, many ways. Thank you.